the Ravens' connection to the Indianapolis Colts, because the Colts started out as the Baltimore Colts. Peyton Manning is number 18. He won Indianapolis Super Bowl 41 when they defeated the Chicago Bears. It is the Baltimore Ravens that are going to win the Super Bowl 18 years after the first team that played in Baltimore won Super Bowl 41. So 18 years later, it is the Baltimore Ravens that win the Super Bowl after the Indianapolis, aka Baltimore Colts, won Super Bowl 41. And it is all going to happen at the 18th admitted state of Louisiana. Lamar's gematria 45. This is the gematric significance of Lamar Jackson to the Chicago Bears. Indianapolis, aka the Baltimore Colts, beat the Bears. Number 18, Peyton Manning, won. And now the other team from Baltimore, the Ravens, are going to win 18 years after the first team in Baltimore, the Colts, won Super Bowl 41. In gematria, it's the Colts. That's gematria 30. The Ravens are going to prove the 3-0 in the Super Bowl. The Colts were the other team that played at Baltimore. It is the Ravens that win the Super Bowl 12 years later to be 3-0 in the Super Bowl. It was Joe Flacco that won Super Bowl 47. City of Miami is gematria of Indianapolis, which is interesting because the Colts winning at the City of Miami, their connections to Baltimore. The Colts, they played 31 seasons in Baltimore, and next year would be the Ravens' 29th season in Baltimore, so it would be the 60th season in total for teams that for teams in Baltimore. So 31 seasons for the Colts, and then the 29th season of the Ravens. Indianapolis and City of Miami is gematria of that Colts Super Bowl victory at Miami in Super Bowl 41. But 59 prior seasons for Baltimore teams. The Superdome is gematria 59. The Ravens would win Super Bowl 60. New Orleans, Louisiana is gematria of the Colts leaving Baltimore in the year 83, and then the Browns moved from Cleveland to Baltimore, and so this is where we get the Ravens of today. And the full gematria of Lamar Jackson, we can do so. Now, Manning's gematria 36. We're talking about Peyton Manning. Lamar Jackson could be the 36th quarterback to win the Super Bowl. I talked about how that's significant to Doug Williams being the last black quarterback to win the Super Bowl with the Redskins. Redskins gematria 36. Lamar Demetrius Jackson is gematria 201, and he is 20-1 against the AFC, against the NFC. But he'd have to enter next season with that 20-1 record against the NFC that we speak about. Lamar Jackson Jr. is gematria of the Ravens' last title in Super Bowl 47. If you're curious about the gematric significance of his name, and that kind of puts it to light. Lamar Jackson Jr. Jackson Jr.'s gematria of 29, the Ravens' 29th season. Next black quarterback Super Bowl winner is black. That's gematria 29. Jackson Jr.'s gematria of Louisiana. Louisiana is also gematria of 101. So that's the significance of Peyton Manning's number. Is that the Ravens are going to be 3-0 in the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson's going to win the Super Bowl 18 years after Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl for the Baltimore Colts, because those are the only two teams that played in the city of Baltimore. And funny in gematria, Baltimore is gematria of Super Bowl 41, and that's where the Colts originated at, Baltimore. And the Colts won Super Bowl 41, so very interesting as it ties into gematria history. So what's the record of teams from Baltimore in the Super Bowl when this all occurs? So the Indianapolis Colts are 2-2 in the Super Bowl, but they played 2 Super Bowls in Indianapolis. They played 2 at Baltimore. 1-1 in Baltimore. So Baltimore teams from Baltimore are going to be 4-1 in the Super Bowl. It'd be 4 Super Bowl wins and 5 Super Bowl appearances if you're Lamar Jackson. So the Ravens will win. The Ravens are going to win the scripted Super Bowl next year. The black quarterback video will be linked at the end. It's connections to Doug Williams again. So the Ravens are going to be 17 wins and it's going to be 13 losses for a total of 30 games. As they will be 3-0 in the Super Bowl next year, the Ravens. If they get the number 1 seed, they're going to be 20-3. If they don't get the number 1 seed, they would win the Super Bowl in their 34th game in franchise history. That being the connection to Joe Flacco. And then if they're 20-13, then it would connect to the next Super Bowl after the Chiefs fall to 3-3 in the Super Bowl after they lose.